Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something bold right now. Are you building a business that works for today, or are you designing a business that dominates tomorrow? Because in 2025, the game has changed. The strategies that worked 5 years ago are outdated. The wait and see approach is dead. This is the year of intentional revenue design. Now more than ever, revenue models are not just about making money. They're about sustainability, they're about scalability, they're about security, and above all, they're about freedom. If your model doesn't provide those four things, you don't have a business, you have a hustle. I want to break down the models that are not just working, but winning in 2025. The first model, diversified income streams. One stream of revenue is dangerous, it's fragile. If you're relying on just client payments or a single product, you are one bad month away from chaos. Today's strongest businesses are stacking revenue like Legos: consulting, digital products, recurring memberships, affiliate income, speaking gigs, you name it. And guess what? Each stream doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be consistent, because multiple streams don't just build cash flow, they build confidence. Next is the subscription model. If you're not already thinking recurring, you are behind. Subscriptions are predictable. They make scaling and forecasting easier. Whether it's software, coaching, a community, or even a physical product box, if people love it, they'll pay monthly for it. I've worked with business owners who have shifted from one-time sales to monthly memberships and within 6 months had doubled their revenue without doubling their work. Because guess what? It's easier to retain than to sell. Create something sticky, something valuable, and people will stay. The third model that is taking over is digital products. Now listen, I don't care what industry you're in, everyone has knowledge that can be monetized. Courses, templates, playbooks, virtual workshops, these don't require ongoing fulfillment. They don't need warehouses or logistics. You build once, you sell forever. I've seen people with 9 to 5 jobs create an ebook that becomes a 5-figure revenue stream. Why? Because it solved a real problem, and here's the best part. It lets you help more people with less friction. Now let's talk freemium. This is the strategy where you lead with value. You offer something free that gives real impact. A free training, trial, guide, or community. And then you convert that trust into paid offers. It's one of the most powerful models in 2025 because it flips the sales process. You give first, you prove your worth, and then when people are ready to buy, they already believe in you, and belief is what moves money. And finally, the value-based pricing model. This is a mindset shift. Too many people price based on hours or competition, but value-based pricing is about charging for the transformation you create. Are you saving people time, making them money, solving a painful problem? Then your offer is not a cost, it's an investment. Businesses that understand this are no longer selling time, they're selling outcomes, and outcomes command premium rates. So, what does this all mean for you? It means if you're still stuck in just one way of earning, it's time to evolve. It means you need to look at your business not just as a service or a product, but as a revenue ecosystem. And ecosystems grow when they're intentional. When they're aligned, when they're built not just to pay bills, but to create freedom. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to experiment. Test a new model, launch that course, build that subscription. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. The market rewards action takers. I'll leave you with this. In 2025, the businesses that thrive are not the loudest or even the biggest. They are the most strategic. So be bold, be intentional, and build a revenue model that doesn't just work today, it dominates tomorrow. Diversified income streams are no longer a luxury in 2025. They are a necessity for survival and stability. The businesses that are thriving in today's economy have one thing in common. They are not putting all their eggs in one basket. They understand that relying on a single source of revenue is a fragile position to be in, no matter how strong that source may appear. Markets shift, algorithms change, consumer behavior evolves, and the moment that one stream slows down or dries up, the entire business can come to a halt. That's why diversification isn't just about increasing profits, it's about building resilience. It's about creating a business model that can adapt, pivot, and continue growing even when parts of it are under pressure. The smartest entrepreneurs are stacking multiple revenue streams in a way that complements their core offering. They are not jumping into random products or industries. They are creating intentional pathways that make sense within their brand ecosystem. A service-based business might start offering digital courses. A physical product brand might introduce a subscription box. A coach might add a group program alongside their one-on-one sessions. Each new stream adds a layer of protection and opportunity. You don't just earn more, you become harder to disrupt. And that's critical in a world that rewards speed and innovation but punishes complacency. What makes this even more important in 2025 is how accessible it's become to launch and manage these different streams. Technology has leveled the playing field. You can create a digital product, launch an affiliate program, start a YouTube channel, build a membership site, and monetize your expertise, all without needing a massive team or investment. The barrier to entry has never been lower, which means there's no excuse to stay dependent on a single revenue lane. Diversification is no longer something reserved for million-dollar businesses. It's a strategy available to every entrepreneur willing to think long-term. Beyond the financial security it offers, diversified revenue also brings freedom. When you're not dependent on one client or one offer to make payroll or pay your bills, you get to operate from a place of power. You're not making decisions out of fear or scarcity. You can say no to things that aren't aligned. You can focus on innovation instead of survival. That's the mindset shift that separates short-term hustlers from long-term leaders. And the moment you experience that shift, your entire energy as a business owner changes. You go from reactive to proactive. You stop chasing and start choosing. That's when the business starts to feel less like a job and more like a vehicle for freedom. So in 2025, if you're not actively building multiple streams of income within your business, you're building on sand. The foundation won't hold. Diversification isn't a detour from your mission. It's how you sustain it. It's how you protect it, and most importantly, it's how you scale it with confidence. ChatGPT said, subscription models have evolved into one of the most powerful and reliable revenue strategies in 2025. Their magic lies not in the product itself, but in the predictability they bring. Entrepreneurs and companies are realizing that one-time sales make you work for every transaction repeatedly. You're constantly chasing the next deal, the next client, the next big sale. But with subscriptions, you create a system where the sale isn't the end of the transaction. It's the beginning of a long-term relationship. Whether it's a software service, an exclusive membership community, access to specialized content, or even curated product boxes, the power is in the retention. You no longer rely on seasonal spikes or unpredictable customer behavior. Instead, you build consistent, forecastable revenue that allows you to plan smarter, hire better, and scale faster. The genius of a subscription model is that it doesn't demand reinvention every month, it demands refinement. Once the foundation is set and the customer experience is tight, your focus shifts from selling to serving. You're not stuck in survival mode. You're optimizing, improving, listening to your customers, and creating greater value over time. What makes it so effective in today's market is that consumers crave consistency too. They want reliable access. They want to be part of something ongoing, and when they find something that gives them that, they don't leave. That's why churn management becomes more important than aggressive sales. You start thinking in terms of lifetime value, not just first purchase. You prioritize experience, engagement, and trust. And that's where real brand loyalty is born, not in flashy marketing, but in delivering continuous value. Another core advantage is the way subscription models support community building. When people subscribe, they feel like they belong to something. You create identity, and identity is powerful. It drives behavior, it fuels advocacy. People become your marketers because they feel emotionally connected to what you offer. That kind of loyalty doesn't just grow your income, it grows your impact. And in a business landscape where everyone is trying to scream louder, a loyal, quiet, and consistent customer base is your greatest asset. Entrepreneurs I've worked with who transitioned into a subscription framework often say the same thing: why didn't I do this sooner? Because once it's built correctly, it gives you time back. It gives you mental clarity, and more importantly, it gives you a financial runway that allows you to take bigger risks in other areas of the business. Subscriptions don't just increase revenue, they give you breathing room. They create a foundation so you can dream bigger, hire more boldly, and invest more aggressively. That's why this model isn't just a trend, it's a cornerstone for sustainable growth. The future belongs to businesses that don't just sell, but serve repeatedly, reliably, and with purpose. Digital products are dominating in 2025 not just because they are profitable, but because they're efficient, scalable, and deeply aligned with how people consume value today. More than ever, people are seeking quick, accessible solutions to their problems, and they want them delivered instantly. That's where digital products win. Whether it's an online course, a downloadable workbook, a paid webinar, or even a premium Notion template, these assets provide real transformation without the need for physical inventory or face-to-face interaction. What makes this model so powerful is that it allows you to serve thousands of people with something you build once. That's not just leverage, that's freedom. It's time you stop trading hours for dollars and start building assets that work while you sleep. The accessibility of creating digital products in 2025 has completely changed the game. You don't need to be a tech genius or have a production team to launch something impactful. All you need is a clear understanding of the problem your audience is facing and a framework or system that solves it. People don't want fluff, they want outcomes, and when you package your knowledge, experience, or process into a product that's easy to access and implement, you become the go-to expert in your space. That's not just income, it's influence. Because the truth is, people pay attention to those who provide value consistently and in formats that are easy to consume. One of the biggest benefits of digital products is the control they give you over your time and energy. You're no longer in the cycle of creating custom work for every client or burning out delivering high-touch services. You create it once, you refine it, you automate the delivery, and then you scale it. The energy you used to spend on fulfillment can now go into marketing, content, partnerships, or rest, because rest is part of growth too. This shift allows business owners to think bigger, act bolder, and make decisions that align with long-term vision instead of short-term survival. There's also massive credibility that comes from having your own products in the marketplace. It signals leadership. It shows you've taken your process seriously enough to document it, brand it, and share it with others at scale. That kind of presence opens doors to more than just revenue. It creates speaking opportunities, partnerships, brand collaborations, and other income streams that continue to expand your reach. One product can lead to 5. One course can spark a coaching group. One template can build an entire audience. You start with one offer, but you unlock an ecosystem. So many entrepreneurs wait until they're ready to launch something digital. But the truth is, the best time to start is now. Perfection is not the goal, value is. If your product can save someone time, help them grow, or give them clarity, then it's worth putting out into the world. Digital products are more than just a revenue model. They're a movement. And in 2025, this is one of the smartest ways to scale with impact and intention. ChatGPT said, "Freemium strategies have become a cornerstone for smart businesses in 2025 because they are rooted in the most powerful principle of modern marketing, trust before transaction. Gone are the days when people bought blindly." Today's consumers are more educated, skeptical, and selective than ever. They want proof, They want to experience value before they commit. And the freemium model does exactly that. It invites your audience into your world without asking them for anything upfront. You're giving them a taste of what you offer, showing your value, and allowing them to build belief in your brand before you ever sell. That kind of experience builds trust at a scale that traditional marketing simply cannot compete with. This strategy is not about giving everything away for free, it's about being strategic with what you offer. You lead with a free version, a training, a toolkit, a community, or a trial that solves a small but significant problem. You don't overwhelm, you overdeliver on one clear result. That experience creates a transformation, no matter how small, and that transformation builds momentum. People begin to associate your name with progress. They start to view you as a credible expert. And when the time comes for them to go deeper, they are already sold emotionally, even before the price tag is revealed. That's the power of earning trust before asking for payment. It shortens the sales cycle and increases conversions. What makes freemium so effective is the psychological safety it offers the audience. There's no risk, no barrier, no pressure. That means more people say yes, more people enter your funnel, and more people begin engaging with your brand. It creates a wide top of funnel that you can nurture, educate, and eventually convert. And those conversions aren't cold, they're based on genuine value and authentic connection. That's how long-term customers are born, not through aggressive selling, but through generous giving. Freemium also provides real-time data and feedback. When you offer something for free, you see exactly what people engage with, what they download, what they ignore. That insight is gold. It helps you refine your messaging, build better products, and make smarter decisions about what to monetize next. Every free lead becomes a learning opportunity. You're not just building an audience, you're building a feedback machine that sharpens your business over time. And perhaps the most overlooked benefit is how the freemium model empowers you as a business owner. When you lead with value, you're not desperate for the sale, you're not chasing, you're positioning. You're creating demand by demonstrating expertise, and that shift from needy to generous changes everything about how you show up. You move with more confidence. You communicate more clearly. You attract with more ease. Because people are drawn to those who help them without pressure. In 2025, the businesses that lead the market will be the ones that lead with value. Freemium is not about free, it's about proving that you're worth paying for. It's a long game that builds brand, loyalty, and predictable revenue, and it starts with giving first. Value-based pricing has emerged as one of the most powerful shifts in how entrepreneurs approach revenue in 2025 because it flips the old pricing game on its head. Instead of focusing on what something costs to deliver or what competitors are charging, value-based pricing asks a different question. What is the result worth to the client? It reframes the conversation from cost to impact. This approach recognizes that people don't actually pay for time. They pay for transformation. They don't care how many modules your course has or how many calls your program includes. They care about what changes in their life, business, or mindset because of what you offer. And when you start pricing according to that transformation, everything about your business starts to elevate. This model forces you to think deeper about the results you provide. You stop underpricing out of fear, and you start charging based on the confidence you have in your process. You're no longer comparing yourself to someone with a similar service. You're owning your unique outcomes. That changes your positioning in the market. You move from being just another option to being the obvious choice. The clients who are seeking real change don't want the cheapest solution. They want the best one, and the best one often isn't measured by the number of hours it takes. It's measured by the quality of the outcome. When you operate from a value-based mindset, you begin attracting a different kind of client. These are people who respect your process, who are committed to getting results, and who don't question every invoice. Why? Because they're not buying based on deliverables. They are investing based on results. That shift changes your energy. It frees you from chasing volume and allows you to go deeper with fewer, better clients. and that means more focus, more fulfillment, and ironically, more income. Another key benefit is the way value-based pricing enhances client experience. When people invest more, they show up differently. They're more engaged, more responsible, and more likely to follow through. That means your success rate improves, your testimonials become stronger, and your brand reputation skyrockets. You're no longer stuck in the cycle of undercharging and overdelivering. You're in a place of balance, where what you earn reflects the true worth of what you give. The confidence to price this way doesn't come from ego, it comes from clarity. You have to know the problem you solve, the cost of that problem remaining unsolved, and the real-world value of fixing it. When you understand that, pricing becomes an extension of your impact, not a reflection of your insecurities, and clients feel that. They feel your certainty, and they mirror it with trust. That trust is what turns a high-ticket offer into a no-brainer. In 2025, the businesses growing the fastest aren't offering the most. They're offering the most valuable outcomes. They aren't negotiating down to affordability. They're standing tall in the results they deliver. Value-based pricing is not just a strategy. It's a mindset, a position, and ultimately, a declaration that your work matters and that it's worth every dollar.